Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or sometimes for no reasons at all.
There's the leg.
Because our motherfuckers are crazy.
They are.
You say my leg? Okay, so I just came from a board meeting, which is why
I'm digging this vibe, though.
Thanks, so.
Yeah, I called her Romy and Michelle, and I didn't narrow it down to
no, and I
what
never
I
get
meant.
it.
And she was like, I don't understand. And I'm like,
No.
You know when they say reinvented Post-its? That's the Romy that I had. She seems like a powerful boss babe.
You know, it feels weird because I'm on a foundation board and I just got voted in as the vice chair. So I feel really fucking special about that. But like I used to be this corporate person. And so I wore dresses every day. And then now I'm like truly when someone's like, what is your occupation? It's like I'm a podcaster. And so the thought of me not having a tattooed sleeve and wearing jeans all the time is like beyond it. But I haven't worn heels in so long because I work from home and I work remotely.
Yeah.
I am not like...
You don't run around the house?
No, I'm not in board meetings like I used to be.
You're not a 50s housewife and you're like...
I'm not Carrie from Sex and the City.
You make Travis dinner and you're just wearing heels and an apron.
Oh my God, I would do that though.
You would. That's...
Oh God, that would be such a good time. Anyway, so yeah, I was telling the ladies whenever I was in the board meeting, I was like, I swear to you, I was walking through like a brand new born baby deer in the parking lot I go, walk with purpose, Brooklyn. I swear to you, I was walking and I literally had to tell myself, Brooklyn to Brooklyn.
Inner monologues.
Act like you have any physical control over your fucking body. This meat suit of mine. I'm just like flinging around. I'm like, fucking stand up and fucking walk like a normal person, not
it takes
Gumby.
A minute. It takes a minute. Sometimes
it's hot. It's humid.
Right. The funniest
shoes hurt.
Would be watching girls when I was a bartender and watching the girls at the bar walk out of the bar, and they would wobble like we call them baby giraffes. Because they would be fine walking in and walking out. They'd either have their shoes in their hand at 2 a.m. or they'd be like, their knees would be buckling like they were just birthed from 6 feet up out of a giraffe womb or however that happens. So, I get it.
Yeah.
This is about it. The biggest heel that I could do is a chunky boot.
I get that.
At best. Yeah.
I on my watch. Man.
Who is she?
You think you're like, my head is so in the game. You get that one text message that's like something didn't come through for like a work related other item. And I'm like, fuck. Now I get to be in this podcast for the next hour and a half with my head being like, why didn't that add to the calendar, right? Like, fuck. Anyway, exciting things that are happening. We're about to leave next weekend to go on our hiking trip with our friends, Katie and Jess.
Jess.
Oh, she say no, I said Jess.
Jess. Producer Jess.
And we're going to have so much content from that. We just filmed our Sunscreen and Shenanigans episode that was for our Patreon. We are pulling together some really fun Patreon content for every single month. Right. Obviously, because we're fucking spectacular. And you should be doing it because every single month is different and new and exciting. Right. And we're getting to that place where we're like, we don't know exactly what we're doing and we don't know what we're capable of.
You don't know how high we can fly.
You don't know.
You don't know.
We're just shooting our shot.
Some birds can't be caged.
You're totally, I mean,
listen,
you're right.
Okay, I think that people should go buy it just because me, had to sit in a bathing suit on camera next to this bitch. Mm-mm. Every girl's worst nightmare. And she's like, you weren't in the camera. I'm like, well, my left tit was because I was like, oh my God, I'm in a bathing suit. I don't even like to
this was the if this side was Heather, I'm not bullshitting you. Like this is off camera and this side is on camera. It starts like this because we're both obviously like facing
I'm like
it.
Leaned in.
By the fucking end of it, it's Heather. You see her left fucking ear.
And I'm in the neighbor's yard.
And I'm the one editing it, like...
She even put... Anyway,
where the fuck did you go? Like, she moved so far out of the frame and just kept... It's almost like she was trying to get out of the frame. So it's just me, basically leaned up, telling y'all some funny fucking embarrassing stories. But anyway, sign up for our Patreon.
Yeah.
Like, rate, review, subscribe. We have so much different, and that's what I wanted to say was like, we have a lot of different content that we're working on.
Yeah.
So you're going to see some cool stories and cool locations with cool people.
Everything's cool.
Everything's going to be cool.
And you can even go in and buy like an episode or just try it out. You don't have to, you can test drive the car before you actually commit to the lease. So you can go in and buy single episodes if you're like, I mean, for all of our male viewers and or female fans of the female form, like I said, this bitch, she's going to blush so hard. She wants to evaporate.
I do.
You want to,
I'm just going to get up and leave.
No, oh, that would be a boring episode. anyway. You got to send a little tease, little thirst trap.
Y'all sign up.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Exciting shit's going on. We're officially, it's fucking July. So basically, like, we have one more month of bullshit, and then it's spooky season for the next 3 or 4 months, and then I'm going to be like,
listen, Halloween in my heart is July 5th. But
September.
I got voted out of my household in Terrytown. I said, Will, I showed him a bikini, and I showed him a hula skirt for my Skelly Clarkson, my 12-foot skeleton.
Yeah.
I said, can we please? He said, no. I said, you didn't even let me finish. I need to plead my case. He said, you can plead it. And he rarely tells me no. And he was like, and you know what I think? I think he doesn't want to mow around it.
I don't blame him at all.
It's annoying. And I get it in the front of our yard is weird.
It's super annoying.
So I said, okay, can we meet in the middle? I go, marriage is about compromise. And he goes, I'm going to fucking write that down. And I was like, shut up. Listen, when would you feel comfortable? He's like, Labor Day. I was like, all right.
That's a good call.
I will fold.
That's
but
appropriately.
In my heart, I want it out.
I get it. No, as soon as like I wondered why my nipples get so fucking hard for like fall right around now. And number one's because my social media feed is only feeding me fall related content.
Summer wings.
So that by the time it gets to fall, it'll be showing me Christmas shit. So I don't even get to enjoy the fall content when I'm actually doing the fall shit.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
I'm in a state. You know what else because I'm running through shit. Because I'm like, dude, we've got a lot of them hoes. I'm running through them. What's going on this case that we've been talking about too?
Crystal Rogers.
Yes.
Ugh, that's
because it's almost like mind blowing. You tried to explain the case to me before, and I was like, I don't understand. Jason Derulo.
Yes. If you look into it,
it's confusing.
It's confusing and sad. So I pulled up some ChatGPT notes just to help me remember all the pieces because I don't have my PhD in it, but I've been very following along. Shay McAllister is a reporter out of Louisville who actually has been covering it. She has a podcast too called Bardstown that's all about it and followed it.
And this is in Bardstown,
Kentucky, which we love to go to. As soon as we went there, a couple of the people were like, "Oh, you have a true crime podcast. What do you think about Crystal Rogers?"
That was the weirdest thing ever. So we went to Bardstown for a fall fun day girls weekend,
right?
And with people, we were adorable. And whenever we were there, people asked us what we do because we're so adorable. And we had told them that we had a true crime podcast, and every single one of them was like, have you heard about this? Was the bartenders at Ash and that one place that we Nash and whatever that freak Liam and Ash.
Yeah, I was like,
the bartenders there.
Yeah. The
servers that we had, another random person at a bar.
Right.
Like pretty much just like small town that's beautiful, charming, quaint, has had a ton of mysteries, a ton of fucked up things happen. And this particular case is wild because the girl, it's Crystal. Yeah. She had gone out and she was partying with friends at 2 a.m. She's seen trying to go home essentially. She is, money's fault. Am I saying the right story?
Okay, so kind of, yeah. Crystal, she was 35, mother of 5.
God! I also read a story about someone in Iceland, and in the moments of that, I go, I think I'm telling the Iceland story.
I saw that.
Literally, I go, wait, no, that's the video from the Iceland because I was trying to pick my story out.
Yeah.
I read 300 murders before I walked in here.
Yeah, I was trying to read your face, and I was like, I feel like she wants me to jump in, so I'm going to
hurry up and tell me.
Okay, so she was a mother of 5. She was 35, lived in Bardstown. She disappeared on July 3rd of 2015. Her boyfriend, I don't know how to say his last name because I've only Brooks, Houck. That's what we're going to say.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. I usually do. He was the last person to see her alive. On the Bluegrass Parkway, which we've driven on a million times, they found her car abandoned with a flat tire. Her keys, purse, phone were still inside. Her boyfriend's like, oh, no, she was playing games, and she left on her own, and, like, they got in a fight, blah, blah, blah. He never reported her missing, though. Her mom did. And then he was named a suspect early, and then his brother was, this could be a movie. His brother.
Yes, this could be a movie.
Nick was a cop in Bardstown at the time, and he went MIA for 24 hours after she disappeared. And they know, like, even his girlfriend was like, he never turned his phone off, and his phone was off for a whole day. So that was weird. His dad.
But okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest way to look like you've done something is shutting off your phone if you never shut off your phone.
Yeah.
Do you remember how we used to shut off our phone every night before we went to bed and shit? Like when we were in middle school and it was the first cell phones and whatever.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah, no.
If I just shut off my phone without you have to start that shit a year out. You have to Gone Girl that shit. Yeah. Where you're like slowly easing in. You know what I do every Tuesday and Thursday? I fucking pray to my Buddha.
I unplug.
And I unplug my phone and I shut it off on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right. And then murder someone on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
So there was that. He said he told him not to talk to the cops. He ended up getting fired for his interference. And then her dad, Crystal's dad, Tommy, he was a very, like, daily searching. He kept it in the news. Like, he was like...
And then he got killed.
Yeah. Then in 2016, he was hunting. Then years of silence, blah, blah, blah. In 2020, the FBI took over. They did property searches. They were all on TV. And then the major break was in October of 2023. He was arrested. And finally, the boyfriend was indicted for murder and evidence tampering. And then this is he actually just got found guilty, and so did his dad. So his brother was an unnamed suspect. So, like the ex-police officer. So there was police corruption. The dad did something. The mom did something, but she wasn't indicted, but she was an accomplice, but they never formally did charges on her. Like, so his whole family was in on this shit, and they were like, well, I'm a cop, and he's kind of a cocky bastard. So he thought he could get away with all of it.
Obviously.
And because he's an attractive white guy. So
and he got away with it for 10 years.
He did. And then they finally got him, and everybody knew
What was the motive?
I can't remember
because I didn't see that when I looked through it.
I haven't. There's been a lot of speculation, but I'm waiting for like a hard hitting. This is what they said. Like, I have to sit there and watch. Like, I want
true proof of it, but
I'm gonna listen to that Shay McAllister's.
Are they
podcast.
Admitting to it at all?
I don't know.
Like, did they plead guilty or innocent?
Oh no, they all said they didn't do it. Of course they didn't.
No one's ever gonna plead guilty.
Yeah. Speaking of,
that's craziness.
Dumb Kentucky.
Ooh, do we have one?
Stories. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay, but R.I.P. Crystal Rogers, because that's sad. And
that is so sad.
You should definitely dive into that. She's got 5 kids that have no mom and haven't for a long time, and everybody basically knew that he did it, but they never...
I got the sense 100% that everyone knew he did it.
Oh, everybody, but it was...
And that's why they didn't stop.
And then they were like, well, you're not going after him because of his brother, and it's a small town, like we said.
Yeah, but don't you stick by... Like, I don't know...
And his poor dad.
I've asked Travis this. Like, when Gabby Petito happened, I asked Travis, I was like, what would you do if Jay, his son, came up to him and was like, I killed someone? I can tell you, I don't think I'd cover it up.
No.
I can tell you, I think I'd be like, I'm going to get you a really good attorney. And we're going to talk through this, and we're going to figure out, like, why this happened. The right thing. Right.
Not be like, and then they were like,
let me go hide the body. Let me go kill their dad.
Yeah, they have, like, evidence of the mom, like, digging up potted plants and stuff because she hid evidence, and, like, it's a whole big to-do.
It's like for a whole family to choose the wrong choice is just like...
And pretend they were mightier than thou and sad, which they weren't.
Is that like a fucking depressing seed of bad throughout that entire family?
Right.
Like, that's a lot of bad choices by people to then cover up and, like, share that guilt.
Yeah.
Like, in a group of 4 of us, I feel very confident in a group of 4, there's going to be at least 2 that are going to be like, let's not do that. Did anyone not watch? I know what you did last summer.
Right.
There's always somebody that does not want to hide it.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't move and they just sat there and they were like, we didn't do it. They're still saying that it's so stupid.
Yeah, but that's what
now they're
all
looking
fucking
at
killers do.
Now, but the sad part too is now they have to go back and look at other cases that his brother was involved in.
I'm sure.
Because they're like, well, if you did that, what else did you fucking do?
Yeah. Let's hop on this story.
Okay.
Let's get to this one.
I could do that. I'm just going to jump right in. So the sources, Lexington Herald Leader had a lot of articles about this. They did very good coverage on this. Oxygen.com, Murderpedia.com, KentuckyLawJournal.org. And there are a few shows, but I watched one called An Unexpected Killer Season 3, Episode 15. The title of the episode is called A Family Affair. So here we go. And with everything about Crystal Rogers, I was like, there's got to be some lesser known Kentucky cases out there. So I looked and I definitely found one. So Dr. Joseph Verl Wellnitz, he went by Dr. Joe, was born in Louisville on October 15th, 1942. He grew up in rural Jefferson County and had a pretty standard, like, Kentucky boy life childhood, but he had love for animals from a young age. So it was no surprise when he went to college, graduated, and got his vet degree from Auburn University. So he became a veterinarian.
All right.
After that, he joined the Air Force and right after college and served in Vietnam. And side note, he got a Bronze Star because he flew in a war zone and he was actually like treating the animals for the Army or the Air Force, and then he flew into a war zone and treated farm animals so that people could survive there. So he got like a Bronze Star. So he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had a huge passion for it. When he came back, he worked at private vet clinics through the 1970s in and around Lexington. So while there, he met a lovely lady named Beth, and they got married in 1979.
1979. All right.
Yep.
That's me doing my timeline check.
Now, this marriage was number 2 for both of them, and Beth had 2 kids from her first marriage. One was named Dennis, and the other one was named Meg. Her real name was Margaret, but she went by Meg, so I don't know how. I've never made those dots connect. But they were so close to Dr. Joe that he eventually adopted them because when they got together, they were like 8 and 10, like ish, in that range. And they changed their name to Wellnitz, and then Dennis even took his middle name, so he was Dennis Verl Wellnitz, like totally leaned into his new
Damn, they were like, fuck my dad. I'm like, was the other dad not involved? Or were they literally like, new family, who dis? Like, fuck. They're like, not only did did they get adopted, they changed the last name and his fucking middle name. I'd be like, fuck damn.
Right. There's a lot of backstory in their like earlier life.
I am all that, so sure.
But that, I got the vibe from what I read because I was listening to something else like earlier when I was getting ready, and I'm like, I feel like the dad wasn't there. Like,
my assumption too is like, even now, like, if you were a dude and you didn't want to have your family, all you had to do is go pick up a pack of cigarettes at the store and never come back. What they say,
go buy milk? I'm going to go buy milk.
I grew up in Indiana with cigarettes. But, yeah, I'm like, if he wanted to dip, they could have dipped.
Yeah.
And then they never talked to their kids again. It's like, what the fuck?
Right. A few years later, Dr. Joe was tired of working for the private clinic, so he decided that he wanted to live out his dream, and he moved about 100 miles away-ish to Columbia, Kentucky to open his own practice for a rural community. They had about 4,000 people at the time there, small town feel, everybody knows everybody. He wanted to go help people in those areas instead.
Okay.
So it's actually about 100 miles from here in Owensboro, so not too far. It was so cute there, and then they bought a farm, and then the clinic was a renovated barn on their property. So, like, the cutest thing ever. Beth was the office manager because she had a love for animals, too, which is why they got together. The community loved them. They're great humans. And, it's like, Beth said that if they won the lottery, she's like, I want to build property on our farm to bring terminally ill children to have animal therapy. Like, that's how good of people they are. Yeah.
She realizes that literally sounds like the story of where all of our dogs went to die.
To the farm.
To the farm. And you're like, she wants to take terminally ill.
Oh my God, I never.
You literally, and I'm like,
I never connected.
Just made me think everyone is the dog's going to die. The dog died, but they went to the farm. They needed more land to run free. And you're like, they want to take the kids that are dying to the farm. And I was like, so they could die on the farm, and you're like, so they could have the animal therapy.
The animal therapy.
Like, I did not. I
you were looking at me.
I'm like, fucking morbid, man. All right, do it. And you're like, because they're good people. Yeah. I'm like, are they?
You're so funny. But they would also like take in, like, for example, they found a dog that had been hit by a car on the side of the road with 2 broken legs.
I know.
All those people, like, free, if you couldn't pay, they would still help the animal out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know they're not just taking terminally ill kids and having them die on a farm.
That's
I misinterpreted.
Right. Okay, so cut to early 1993. Their kids were both graduated from high school. So Dennis was living at home and he was working and going to community college. And then Meg was at the University of Kentucky in Lexington, so not too far away. In high school, Dennis and Meg, they both thrived. Dennis was a popular athlete and Meg was in the gifted and talented program. So, like, good kids too, nothing. And I forgot that I wanted to show you guys a picture. So this is Dr. Joe and Beth. They look so cute. They're just like hugging on each other. They look like they live on a farm, like glasses. And this is Meg. This is her high school photo. Definitely very 90s hairspray bangs.
Yes.
So, on February 25th, 1993, a worker on the farm saw Dr. Joe around 7 p.m. He always pinned up his farm dog at night. Like, that's the kind of property that they had. His neighbor was like, that's weird. The dog's out. It's like one of those weird things that you would notice about your neighbor, but you don't pay attention. But it's like, oh, you left your trash toter out or something, you know?
Leaving a dog out, yeah.
Yeah. Like, so at 8 a.m. the next day, when the workers showed up at the vet clinic, they went to open the door and they saw that the glass was busted out of the bottom and it had been shot through. And they were like, what the fuck? So one worker and a family friend, Cindy, they called the police. And then the other guy, he went up to tell Joe and Beth, like, somebody shot your fucking door out. He went in and the unlocked back door because it was always unlocked. And he knew that because he'd been working for him for years. Joe was lying face down in their den, and he had been shot to death. He was in, like, sweats, and he looked like he had literally just was ready for bed, walked out of the bathroom, and was surprised. The police got there a few minutes later because the guy was like, and ran out because he found his friend. And then they went upstairs, and they found Beth in her pajamas. She was standing by the bed. It looked like she had gotten up. She was shot in the upper torso and the head. So she was passed away as well. Then they went to Dennis's room, the son, and they found him shot multiple times in the back. So it looked like he was trying to run and then crawl.
Dennis doesn't even look like, their ages don't look appropriate.
Yeah.
Like Dennis.
He was like 20 at this time, but still.
Is not allowed to be that age, and his parents aren't allowed to be that age. Because in those photos, I'm like, or maybe because it's the 90s?
Yeah.
20... looks like 38 now.
Yeah, he did look very mature for his age.
Yes.
But yeah, he was like in there. I couldn't get an exact date, but it was like 20 to 21, 22.
No, I'm just like, wow. I don't even think I comprehended that was Dennis. Like, that was the son. That's like sad.
Yeah, like he would play like a 90210 guy. Like
100%. 100%.
Like a Dylan.
Saved by the Bell.
Right. So there were bullet holes from a 9mm handgun all over the house, and one had actually gone through the wall of their house and hit the clinic. Which,
oh, shit.
Yeah. So now they're like, why? Like, what? Why? Nothing was taken besides a small safe with important documents in there. There was no forced entry, but they unlocked their doors and everybody knew it. Shit like this didn't happen in Columbia, Kentucky. Like, no.
Yeah.
The cops are like, we need to tell Meg her whole family is dead because she doesn't live there, and she was at UK, and they told her the news, and they were like, she's like devastated, and they were like, well, where were you? And she's like, well, I was playing cards with my boyfriend and a couple college friends.
Meg did it,
but she was shaken up.
Meg did it. I'm making a choice. This is what it's like in my head every time I read an audiobook. All of a sudden it's like, Dylan did it. It was Dylan.
This is Dylan.
It was Dylan.
Man. We're Dylan.
I don't know.
Dylan haters today.
I am. But I'm now going to be a cop. The only person that could have done it is Megan. I'm now going to tunnel focus on Megan and make her be the culprit, whether or not she did actually have anything to do with it.
A homegirl just got tunnel vision.
Sure do.
And I love it.
Let's go.
You're entitled to your tunnels.
I am, and I'm going to take it today, and my tunnels lead me right to Meg. Or Margie.
Yeah. Meg Margaret, or whatever the fuck.
It's possible when she was a kid she couldn't say Margaret. And so Meg was like a Marg, but AR is harder to say for anyone who's had speech impediment problems, as myself. It's a harder thing to say.
Oh.
Maybe. But R was hard. Anyway, carry on.
They find out also, so they tell Meg Marg, she's upset. I was playing cards at UK, blah, blah, blah. They find out that Dr. Joe has an estranged adopted son named Eric from his first marriage.
Dun dun.
No one knew that. Nobody knew that. Beth knew, but knew they didn't talk. But not
all right,
like
so
he's got 2 adopted kids, but his first marriage, she became estranged from his son. Like, he had adopted him then, and then after him and Eric's mom split up, that's when he started seeing Beth, and then Dennis came in the picture. So Eric on the show was like, he got a new son.
Told you.
Like,
I didn't realize he had his own ones.
He basically got a replacement for me. Like, that's how he felt.
And if they had better hobbies together and they enjoyed spending more time, like interests, like people forget interests are everything.
Right.
And if he didn't have as many interests with that, I can totally see how that sucks. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah. And after investigating, they found out because he hadn't talked to him in years. Like, Joe and Eric had not spoken.
Yeah.
And they were like, did you know that you were in his will? And he's like, what? Like, he had no clue.
Yeah.
So he was in his will for about $250,000. So, I mean, and the other adopted kids obviously were in it, but like Eric was in it. And he was floored because he still didn't know. And he kept saying, well, he replaced me. So why would he put me in his will? Like, he said, I had anger as a kid, but I could never do that. And they were like, well, you didn't know you would get money from it. So why would you do it if you don't talk? And his alibi actually checked out. So he got ruled out pretty quick, even though normally you'd be like, oh, he did it because he hates his ex stepdad or whatever. Meg had a good relationship with her parents, but did admit that her and her mom fought a lot about her boyfriend, Randy Appleton. Now,
Appleton.
Right.
Randy Appleton.
I know. It's very,
and he's the bad guy.
It's very,
I think he's involved with Meg. And I think they did something. And the fact that his name's Randy Appleton. The fuck? What a name.
Yeah. They had to rule him out, too. And they were like, who were you guys playing cards with then? And they said Bill and Regina Meece. Bill was another UK student, and he was also a landscaper and a cab driver in Lexington. So they were like, okay, cool, sir, come in, and we want to confirm this with you. So they were like, Bill, you're playing cards. That's fine. Come in and do a polygraph. Let's talk about it. He's like, yeah, we'll do a polygraph. I'll tell you all this stuff. So they started asking him questions, and he was under the impression they were going to be like, do you own a handgun or something not relevant? And they were like, do you know anything about the murders? And he's like, what? Fuck you. Rips his stuff out and walks out.
Okay.
And they're like, we can't hold you. He's like, we're done. I'm done talking. I didn't want to talk about this. You brought this up. Gets pissed, rips his wires, and he leaves. So Bill's like, I'm angry. And then, so they're investigating this for a whole year. Meg is involved in a huge legal battle because she wants her money.
Because she did it.
Meg wants her money.
Because she did it.
So Dr. Joe's will actually left everything to Beth unless she died with him, which she did, sadly. And if that happened, the estate would go to Beth's mom, their grandma, Mary Preston. And then she was instructed to provide for the children. Because, like, AKA, they were in college. He was being cautious. He didn't want him to Menendez brother. He didn't want him Menendez brother and blow their load when they get over $500,000 at that age.
So, my God, I'm automatically just like, what the absolute hell? Like, if Meg did it, which I believe Meg did it, if she did it. The concept that you're making an assumption that someone's going to do what's in your best behavior and in your best interest when money comes through, because we've done stories before where like the grandmother gets the money, the grandmother's the one that killed the person and stole the money from the kids.
Right.
That happens.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically, she set this thing up, if it was her, in a way that it's like, yeah, it would have trickled down to you. Eventually.
You'd still have to wait.
You'd still have to wait, and the odds aren't certain.
Right.
And so you're like, fuck it, though. I'll kill my whole family. That's the shit that, like, I'll kill my whole family just in case maybe I get
dice.
a payout.
Right.
To roll the fucking dice of a payout.
Yeah.
And it's not even like my birth father.
Yeah.
Another thing where you're like, so I've been doing my will and like my succession planning of my life. And literally whenever you have young kids like that, because we have I have stepkids, and my stepson is 21. And so we literally, when we go through to give him our money upon our death, it's based off of specific life events in his life and then percentages based off of the years after that. So he'll get some money when he gets married. Mm-hmm. He'll get some money when he buys a house. He'll get some money when he... But not because of exactly what you said, because a rainfall of $500,000 on a 20-year-old is different than it is on a 38-year-old, as a 50-year-old, as a 70-year-old. So it's like, you just don't fucking know. Yeah. But if Meg killed her family, which I think she did, with Randy Appleton and fucking Bill.
She's got, you got
I'm fucking ready on this one. I'm fucking, I am on a pedestal.
She said, we're going on a hiking trip. I'm going to stand on this hill early.
If they did it and there wasn't even
a certainty.
Yes. Also, who's talking about this shit? Like, who's talking about? I'm just surprised because they're so young. Like, until my grandmother died 3 years ago, did my dad come to me about their finances? I'm morbid. 37, so like 34.
Yeah. She's like
20 and 20, and she's like in college.
19. Yeah. She's like
so
19.
It's things that you wouldn't know. It's ignorance making an assumption you get it all. You also don't know if they're doing like fucking endowments to non-profit. Like,
they had big hearts, so it's hard to do.
Exactly. I'm so blown away that people would kill someone for money thinking that they get any part of it, not knowing whether or not they do.
Right.
Fuck.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
where we are right now,
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Does your face look like a mugshot lately?
Then it is officially time for you to visit Hetef Aesthetics in Owensboro, Kentucky or Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right. Go see our girl Amber Teasley and her team because they'll have your face and your skin look like a damn filter.
And their staff is absolutely amazing. It's like a mini Botox party, which personally is my favorite. You leave looking fresher and you don't have a hangover.
Another good thing is that if you go in there and you tell them that a couple of Sassholes sent you, you get 15% off of everything.
That's unbelievable. So if you have been considering getting that glow up and making that ex jealous, it's time.
Okay, so Meg and Eric, the estranged...
Start calling her meh.
Meh? Meh.
Yeah.
So, you bitch, I can't even say her name now. Meg and Eric, the estranged adopted son, they both filed lawsuits separately to get their money, and it was all settled in April of 1994. They both eventually got said money, and Eric said they wouldn't disclose how much Eric got. So, like... Meg got $300,000.
Okay.
Eric said his money had to go through the law firms first, and he ended up with not a lot. I don't know what not a lot is, but $300,000 in 1994 would be $615,000 today.
Okay.
If not more. So.
And his was originally $250 was his payout, but then after legal fees and them taking everything out of it, his got taxed harder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like something.
So he got under that $250 already.
Yeah.
So either way, he came up less than Megan.
Yeah.
Heard.
Which it was a surprise to him anyway, so...
It's a windfall either way.
Right. In 1995, Meg married Randall Appleton, and they had a son, but then they got divorced the same year.
What the fucking hell?
Well, because you know that kids fix everything. Hey, when people do that, we're having a rough time, so I think a baby would help.
Yeah, but they got married and divorced and had a kid in a year.
Yeah.
Like, it's like...
Busy year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like they just fucking got a little spicy one day with some tequila and got pregnant, and then they were like, I guess we'll go get married, and then
I guess yeah.
cut that shit loose.
Meg, she continued living in Lexington. After her family was killed, she kept going to UK for a little bit. Then she switched to another college in Lexington called Transylvania University.
She went from UK to Transylvania acting like, okay, sorry.
Yeah. But you're going to...
Not that I've compared the schools, but I've compared the schools, so I'm just intrigued.
Yeah.
That was an interesting idea.
It gets more interesting. I want to tell you what her study was at Transylvania.
What?
Ceramics.
Oh, that's awesome.
What are you going to do? I mean,
pottery.
I know, but like
that's art.
I just think in the longevity and I guess
if you just got $650,000,
yeah, she's loaded. She don't fucking care.
And even
you can do it, but
even if don't yuck someone's yum.
You know what? You're right. However,
you were ready to judge ceramics so fucking hard, and it's like that could have been her everything, and all she wanted to do was own a small little art studio where she made ceramics.
Well,
I think it's a very cool.
She followed her passions and bought a bar in Lexington.
But I'm just saying, if she picked ceramics, they're like, I would believe that she had a fucking thought behind it.
Yeah, I just didn't see. I mean, it didn't pan out anywhere, so I was like, cool, you did that because you were low.
Or it's a hobby and she still wants to just do it.
Yeah.
If you want to learn it and you can just throw away money, fuck.
I mean,
do it.
That's a good point. I think it's coming from my student loans. I was like, I don't think I would lean into that, not knowing I had a guarantee of shit. But that's just me being judgy. But she bought a bar in Lexington. I couldn't find the name because I really wanted to know if I've ever been there.
Hard.
And it's nowhere to be found. But it closed in 2002. So that didn't work out either. So this whole time, the investigation was still going on. And finally, 9 years later, on February 27th, 2003.
2003.
Yeah. Meg Wellnitz and her friend Bill Meece were arrested for plotting to rob and kill her family.
It was Bill.
Oh, wait. I got pages. Mm-hmm. So Bill was arrested for committing the murders, and Meg was basically the mastermind behind everything, which shocked some people, but there were rumors flying. There was even like a crossword in the newspaper there that was like, guess who killed these people? Like, it was so not tasteful. Oh, but by the way, the prosecution, they may have taken a long time, but they wanted to seek the death penalty, so they had to make sure all the dots and T's were crossed and dotted. The dots and T's. You know what I meant. I don't care.
Yes.
In the interviews, after this went public, the cops wouldn't say much beside that they had gotten recent new information that broke the case wide open. That's all they would say. Over the years, they would try to interview Megan, whose family died. Like, her whole family died. And she didn't check in. She didn't care.
If she never asked who the fucking murderer was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The next big thing is if a loved one dies and is murdered, you genuinely would want to fucking know who committed the crime unless you committed the fucking crime.
Right. And then
unless you know where they're at, 6 feet under your fucking barn-dominium. I don't fucking know. Come on.
And she even tried to they were trying to explore all the leads. So there was a guy that he had treated, that Dr. Joe had treated his dog, and he thought that the patient's owner thought that he did a poor job because the dog had to die, even though he didn't charge him for any of it.
I'm sure.
And
there's always going to be disgruntled
that guy was pissed off, so they were trying to point him other directions too. So, but yeah, she answered the phone 2 or 3 times during all those years, and she would just say, "You can just talk to my lawyer," and hang up when she would talk.
Because she did it.
Yeah. So instead of, like I said, that's a big fucking red flag. Why the fuck would you not ask any of those questions? Bill was already in jail though. Bill Meece. He for conspiracy to commit murder for $2,000 back in 2002 because there's a huge thing, and I won't go into it, but there was an undercover operation because they had heard rumors that this motherfucker was doing shit offering to off people. He'd run around talking about guns and killing people and shit, and do you have a problem being wild? And they're like, what the fuck is he doing?
I bet he has a small dick.
So I'm gonna bet also yes. And
it feels and sounds small.
Yeah. Not even girthy. Not even a grower, not a shower.
Nothing.
Meg and Bill both pled not guilty, and then their trials began. One detective testified that when he found out that Bill and Regina Meece had gotten a divorce in October of 2022, he was like, I need to talk to that ex, because she was one of the ones that was with him when they were playing cards, quote unquote. Regina's like, oh, okay, fuck you in the ass, Bill. That's fine. Fuck you. Fuck you. She's like, well, I'll tell you everything. That's fine. Fuck that guy. She said that Bill and Meg bragged that they did this and even gave them, brought the safe back with them and brought it to her house. And it had, when they investigated the safe that she gave them, because she brought it and was like, they did it. Here's the safe, because the safe was stolen from their house. It had one of Dr. Joe's hairs in it.
Oh, shit.
So, literally, it was like, here you go. Fuck
Why
that
didn't
guy.
she say fuck that guy 10 years earlier?
That. She
what is it? Are people just bebopping through life and they're like, wow, it's crazy that I know that Bill murdered somebody and I have fucking evidence in my house and just never keep going?
Yeah,
you're filing for your divorce, drinking your fucking natty ice, ripping your Marlboro Red, getting shitty with it, signing it.
Oh, you
didn't once stop and realize I could put him in jail now?
Yeah, some people act like they're scared. I don't really
She obviously
agree. Yeah.
Wasn't?
Yeah, they were together for a while. But, and then she said the alibi, it's real, but Randy Appleton, Meg's boyfriend at the time, had left her house at 1 a.m. Then Meg and her husband at the time say, hey, it's about 1:30. We're going to go get coffee at 1:30 in the fucking morning, casual, like everybody does. And then we'll be back. And she's like, I'm fucking going to bed. You guys are stupid. That was
Are you
her
guys
story.
going to fuck?
Coffee. No.
Yeah, I'd say you're going to fuck. I'd be like, I'm not stupid. In fact, the new murder is going to be me killing you all.
And Meg's credit card statement showed that she got gas at 2:30 a.m. And then Regina said she didn't see him from their quote-unquote coffee thing until 7 a.m. when they came back in with the safe. They were and then he was like, don't ask questions. And she was like, okay, which I don't know how I feel about that part. So.
And she just never asked questions?
She apparently
They
not.
bragged and she didn't have to.
Well, 2 months
told
later,
her.
they started telling. She was like, they'll tell me eventually. I don't want to know about it if they did something bad. She knew something about him, but she didn't know what. And then 2 months later, they were like, oh, yeah, we totally did that.
That's when they were bragging.
Yep. And we dumped the 9mm handgun and the bloody clothes in a McDonald's dumpster in a trash bag, because they were like, well, what's another trash bag in a fast food joint's dumpster, is what they said. So, and then like I said, Bill had already been in other murder for hire incidents that didn't pan out. There was another one where, where I said she went undercover. He was by his house. There was a girl crying on her porch, 2 houses down. Never met her. She's crying. He's like, are you okay? What's wrong? She's like, my boyfriend beat me. We got in a fight. Da, da, da. And then he literally looks at her and he's like, I'll take care of that little problem for you if you have $2,000. He doesn't even know her. He doesn't even know her. Then the cops find that she obviously goes and calls the cops, and then they make she goes undercover, and then get him to admit it, and then he tells her all how to do it and all this stuff. And then there was another undercover operation sting, crazy, because again he was obsessed with guns. Talk to the point where you're like, I would rather you shoot me than keep talking about killing people and guns. People hate yeah.
That feels weird.
Yeah. They also, I didn't put this in here because I didn't know how much girth it had, but it was an interesting point. So when they investigated the house at the Wellnitz farm, Meg and Beth, her mom, were fighting. And then they were very devout Christians, her parents. And they found a Wiccan book beside her bed. And they think that it was because Meg and Bill and them were obsessed with the occult. And she was trying to understand her daughter more so she could talk to her more about it. So because it was Bible, and then there was a book on top, and they were like, that's out of place. And then her friend was like, she was trying to understand her daughter more.
Golly.
Going to that extent of being like, this is something different. Let me look into it. But it was also satanic panic time. So some of the media outlets really ran with that.
I'm sure they did.
A lot of the stuff I read wasn't highlighted too much. But
I mean, if they're acting like the book was specifically placed on the nightstand,
yeah,
as a fucking statement, even that doesn't make sense and doesn't
Right.
like coincide with the occult and what they do because their shit's completely different and very obvious. It's not a, I just put a really interesting book on the
Right. On the day of Bill Meece's trial for the Wellnitz case, when that started, he accepted a plea deal to get life in prison and avoid the death penalty for the murders and for the robbery. This also included, they'd be like, yeah, we'll do this. We won't shoot you up with that lethal injection, but you have to testify against Meg. Like, you got to say everything. And he was like, okay, sure, that's fine. I'll tell you what you want to hear. So in late December of 2004, Bill was like, wait. No. I take it back. They made me do it. He's like, they made me say it. They made me switch my plea for Meg's trial. Because he's like, I'm innocent. And Meg's trial was on the 4th of January. And he said this at the end of December. And was like, no. I was coerced. Like, why the fuck? So on January 4th, Meg pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder, complicity to commit burglary, and complicity to commit robbery. Now, in exchange, she got life in prison without the possibility of parole after 25 years. So, like, life, but after 25 years, she could apply. I probably wouldn't get it, but she could try. So, Meg said that a few months before the murder, and they're all compulsive liars. So, I'm going to go a couple different ways, tell you the stupid shit that they say, and you're going to be like, one of those, what the fuck? Fucked up people doing fucked up shit. This is them. So Meg was like, a few months before the murder, she was talking to a friend and that her parents were going on a trip to Africa. And then they all started making this joke. Well, what if they died? How much money would you get? Like, what if your parents die? Would you get money? And then, like, she's like, oh. Like, they said that she never once had talked about that. But she's like, oh, well, my friends planted the idea in my head that I would get money if something happened to them.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1992, Meg and Bill, she was talking to them about this quote-unquote running joke, and then they started plotting this scheme. And then Bill was like, hey, listen, Megs, I really want to start a commune. And you said your parents have a farm, so I feel like that'd be the perfect place for my commune, a.k.a. my cult. So she kept bitching in front of him about fighting with her parents, and Bill and Regina, they pushed her into doing this. Meg didn't have this idea. They pushed her into it. So in February of 1993, Meg used a fake ID to buy the 9mm handgun, and then Bill bought it from her. But she says, oh, I was buying it for Bill's friend. I didn't understand. It's dumb. They're dumb. And on February 24th, Bill, Meg, and another friend, which I'm assuming was Regina, but they named her, went to the Wellnitz farm.
Then maybe not. If her name was disclosed on all the documents and it's not here, it probably wasn't her.
Yeah. There was a couple people that were like, they wouldn't say it, but they insinuated, because you know how that fucking goes. But so they went to the family farm, to the Wellnitz farm, and a.k.a. Bill wanted to get Lay out of the house. He'd never been there. He wanted his cult there. He'd never been there, just seen pictures. So I know this will be a shocker, but Meg's mom found out that she was banging married Bill. Surprise. Not surprise. And she was pissed about it. She's like, you have a boyfriend, Mr. Appleton. Even though she didn't like him either.
Right.
But she's like, and now
maybe she should not like her daughter.
Right. And then you're screwing this married guy. Like, and then it's not clear whether it was open or closed. Like, I have, like, their marriage. If Will left with another girl at 1:30 and said he was going to get coffee and didn't come back for 6 hours, the locks would be changed before he got home. Like, no.
The house would be burnt down. If Travis did that shit to me, I guarantee he would come home to
rubble,
a completely empty house. I'm taking the dogs.
Oh,
and I'm going to take all his guns. Because that would be the other thing that would really piss him off.
Oh, man.
I'm like, what could I do to piss on this hornet's nest that he created? I got to figure out all the ways to piss him off. Fuck.
Now,
poke a hole in all his shirts. Fuck it. Like waiters.
Just cut one sleeve off.
God.
Just make it to where it's annoying.
Oh.
So, obviously she didn't like Randy. She didn't like the side piece because he's fucking married. So Meg was like, well, I took Bill there so she wouldn't think so poorly of him. She thinks poorly of him because he's married and he's fucking you. That's why. But anyway. So Meg drove Bill to their house on the night of the murders, and she said she waited in the car, and then they decided to alibi each other out. And then Bill has been a compulsive liar his entire life. He told everyone that he was an ex-CIA operative and a Navy SEAL that was involved in a failed attempt to assassinate Saddam Hussein.
I need to understand
Why do people do that?
why people do that and why specifically it's all your fucking cases. Because I'm not over here telling you
That's true.
that I don't pick these stupid fucks. You pick them.
That
you
is
pick
true.
them, and I don't understand why everyone's like, I'm in the CIA.
'Cause people don't talk about
Next
that.
time somebody's like, so what have you been up to? I'm like, I'm in the CIA.
I can't tell you. I'm in the CIA. Just so you know. I almost got Saddam. I was this close.
Yeah. And they do it in places where it's like,
No.
are you in the state of which the CIA headquarters are?
Well, you know.
Because I just don't feel like they're in Owensboro, Kentucky or Columbus, Kentucky. I'm where I'm at, but I feel like you got to be within like near DC or at least you could fly there. We don't even have an
He's
line.
super undercover. He's in Lexington. He's super undercover.
I don't get it. I don't get it, stupid.
I never noticed that, but I do have a lot of fake CIA agents in
You have a lot of stupid people. You
Yeah.
pick a lot of dumb people.
Yeah. I got to keep you on your
Always dumb, delirious people.
toes. Yeah, because it's like, this is never going to work. He was in the Navy, though. That shocked me. But he was discharged super early because he tested positive for cocaine. So he was like, oh, I wasn't on coke. I had a drinking problem. They're like, they wouldn't kick you out for that. They'd probably make you run till you puked and make you not drink. But I don't know.
I don't really know. I feel like they pickle your liver real early in that area because you're going to get PTSD from it anyway. So might as well enjoy the hard liquor now.
On January 25th, Meg was found guilty and got her life sentence without parole for 25 years. Bill was still going crazy. He withdrew his plea altogether and then was like, I want to go to trial. Like, they were like,
Sounds
dude.
like Bill has lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah, they were like, dude, all you got to do, testify against this bitch. Tell us what you know. We will not put a needle in your arm. And then like a week before, he's like, oh, no, I take it back. I made it all up.
Because he believes that because this is what happens. He thinks that he can talk people into the fact that he didn't do it when all the evidence is there.
He's CIA trained. That's how it works.
Right?
So in May, his request was actually granted. And because he wanted a new attorney, because he said that was his only option. He couldn't fire his first attorney because he said she withheld evidence. She told him the wrong things. He blamed everything on her and basically said, I would have said whatever to get them to.
Right.
Yeah. So in July of 2006, Meg recanted her testimony and said she didn't know he was going to kill her parents until after he did it. She's like, oh, no, I made all that up. She said they're just all fucking liars. Meg's like, oh, well, I was on medication at the time. Even though during her trial, she told him she was on medications, but it wouldn't affect her mental clarity, and a doctor confirmed that. But no. She wasn't thinking clearly because she was on meds, so she didn't know what she was saying. Basically, like, I lied to get out of the death penalty, too, is what she was saying. Bill's trial started in August of 2006, and Bill got up there, and he's like, he said, hey, Meg, if I got 10% of the life insurance in my commune at the farm I've never been to, I'll kill your parents. He also said that he went to the house on February 25th, the night before they were killed, and he got all the way up to the door and he backed out and he didn't get the nerve. And I'm like, how do you go from obviously calling it off and making the right decision, I'm not going through with it, to shooting them 17 times total for 3 people the very next day?
Right.
Like, that's dumb.
For
nothing.
For no reason.
Right. It's
I'll
infuriating.
never fucking understand. Like, once more, it was in hopes that she would get money. I don't know if any of that money ever crossed paths. We're still talking 9 years fucking later.
Right.
Minimum.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right.
And once, like, you do not know these people or if they've done anything wrong. And you're like, I'll just go in there and shoot them. Kill a 20-year-old kid.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And allegedly, Meg was very upset because her brother was not supposed to be home. But on the
I don't believe
outside
that because she
looking
wanted
in,
the money.
Exactly.
He would have gotten money.
Exactly. It's like, well, you would have had to split it with him. But she acted so, she said she was distraught.
She also didn't give a fuck enough to call her brother and be like, where are you, by the way?
Yeah. Can you not be at home and don't ask me why?
Whatever. Be like, hey, what do you think Dad wants for Christmas this year? Whatever the fuck phone call you have to. By the way, where are you?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I'm actually here. I'll ask him. confirmed.
Oh, man, that was a good one. You're
I'm
a way
just
better
like-
liar than Bill.
Well, because I would make sure if I was going to kill people, I'd be killing the right ones.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. I think she did it on purpose. She knew.
Okay, and then remember that undercover sting that I was talking about that he got in trouble for, Bill did in 1994? He had bragged to this person because they put an undercover cop, they did this twice, they put an undercover cop with him to train at one of his jobs. I think he was like pest control or something. And they put her as a trainee with him. She started like getting in with him, and then finally he was like, oh, well, my friend Meg had it. She was like, I have an abusive boyfriend or husband, and trying to bait him a little bit. And then he basically told her exactly what he would do to what he did in this case without coming out and saying I did it. But then finally he was like, well, my friend Meg had her whole family wasted. That's a quote. It's gross. And she's like, and was bragging about the bullets to use, like use hollow point and the same ones that they found at the scene and everything. God. He also looked at this. I can't remember her name, and it pisses me off because I should have put it in here. But the undercover police officer, that she had to be with him for like a month, knowing he's a murderer and doesn't give a fuck about human life.
I want to make sure I'm right on this. I want to know why they said. Okay, keep going. Okay, and ignore me.
Okay, well, he actually took a gun to this police officer's face and pulled the trigger twice. There was no bullets in it, but he literally looked at her, and she had the bravery to go right back. I mean, I would have made scooter tracks.
See, and that's what I thought. I was like, a hollow point? Like, they chose a hollow point?
Yeah.
And I
even know that.
I know, and I knew I was right. I was just like, but that's a really horrible way to go.
Right.
And a really painful way to go. And I'm like...
Yeah, he was even telling her, because she was like, she was kind of acting like the undercover cop. I don't know how she kept her cool, because if somebody literally pointed a gun at my face and pulled the trigger twice, fuck that. It ain't worth it. He's guilty. Go arrest him. I'm done.
Yeah.
But she went back and she got him to talk more and stuff, and he was telling her like how to get the gun, use a fake ID, da 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 da. Like he literally laid out Meg's plan for her to this person.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So anyway, and it was interesting to me, though, that they knew all of this a year after the Wellnitzes were murdered, but they had to wait because they didn't have enough hard evidence.
Right.
So, like on TV, on Law and Order, if you think about it, it's like, oh, they did it in an hour. It's like, no, sometimes that shit takes a while. And then, so once Regina, the ex of Bill, came in the picture, they were like, got him. And then they started to confirm it, so they started having him followed, did all that other undercover shit. Meg testified in his trial for both the prosecution and the defense, which is a little interesting. Yeah, she said she bought the gun for Bill's friend because he couldn't buy one. She wouldn't say why, blah, blah. She's like, I have a fake ID to buy alcohol, but I used it to buy a gun for some person I don't know. That's stupid.
What a stupid thing to buy for someone else. What an absolutely fucking dumb thing to buy for someone else.
Exactly.
Nope. That's why it's so illegal.
Oh, yeah. She said, and she even said under oath, they were like, well, why did you say you were guilty then originally if you were not? And she goes, quote, I would have lied and said I was married to Hitler in that statement to avoid the death penalty. Eye roll. Mm-hmm. Bill gets up there and he was like, no. Meg and I were studying for exams the night of the murders. We didn't do it.
Oh my God, I'm so over this.
Yeah. He said, he's like, oh no, I'm a compulsive liar. He was proud of that. He read a lot of true crime novels and said that he pieced together the story from true crime novels and the lawyer's evidence files. This is what he's trying to tell.
And he went through the lawyer's evidence files.
That's it. I bet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, and I watched the confession of this guy, and I'm going to show you a picture because he literally, it just sounds like he's reading the phone book. He was like, first I went in to the house, and then he came out of the bathroom, and then he did this. This is a picture that's Bill Meece and Meg.
Yeah, I know this story.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I never heard it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, I just look at him, and I'm like, no, he looks like a carny that would try to trap you in a porta potty. Like, he's got that smile, and then she's got crazy in her eyes. Bill's lawyer in the closing arguments was like, if Bill was the killer, why didn't he kill Meg when she didn't pay him for the money and he didn't end up getting his commune farm because they had to sell it?
Right.
So they're like, if he's a killer, then why didn't he kill Meg? But I think it was because if she died right after her family died, they would have connected the dots back to him somehow. But But then there was also like an extortion letter he wrote her later, like, I'm going to tell on you if you don't give me money, even though he
So he technically did it and never got paid.
right.
Oh my God. Like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, she like moved a couple years later, got remarried again. Yeah. So, yeah. They also tried to say, oh, Regina, she's just a bitter ex. She just is mad at Bill. She tried to say he raped her before they got divorced, and she ended up dropping the charges. She's just mad at him and like they fucking would.
Right.
Like, and on September 16th, 2006, Bill was found guilty of all charges, and 2 days later, the jury voted the death penalty. So he would have gotten away around that if he would have shut the fuck up.
Wow.
But then he rolled the dice and lost. And then
you murdered a family. Assume if you killed more than one person,
right,
you're going to get the death penalty.
Even one.
One is an eye for an eye if you ask me, but
Yeah.
nobody asked me. But fuck,
Yeah.
if you kill more than one person, get ready for a needle in your arm if you're lucky enough.
Right. And then Bill's mom testified. Bill Meece's mom gets up there and she's like, well, listen, he had a rough life. His dad left him when he was an infant, left both of them. So then she signed him over to her mom. And then when her mom passed away, Bill's grandma passed away, and then she goes and gets him back. She lives in Lexington, which is how he ended up there.
Okay.
The mom says, and he was 12 at the time, she posed as his sister, not his mom. Like, posed as his sister and, like, assumed her sister's identity for, like, 15 years. She kept Bill out of school. She isolated him from the outside world. She said that she heard voices her whole life about killing people due to her mental illness. And then she thinks that Bill had the same illness, but he wouldn't admit it.
What the absolute fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. She gets up there and she's like, you should feel sorry for him because of XYZ. I'm like, what? This is clearly, you have mental illness too.
Yes.
And she admitted it, but it's like, what the fuck? On October 20th,
My birthday.
Stupid day. No, I'm kidding. 2006, Bill Meece was sentenced to death. And he read a 5-page statement proclaiming his innocence. And at the end, he prayed and asked God to have mercy on the prosecution, law enforcement, and witnesses that testified against him. Still saying he's innocent. He's like, Lord, have mercy on your souls. You testified against me. Shut the fuck up, Bill.
Shut the absolute fuck up.
Yeah. He appealed his conviction in 2011, and he lost. Now, where's Meg?
I want to know.
On January 12th, 2014, Meg Wellnitz-Appleton was found dead in her jail cell from an apparent suicide. Because apparently she didn't want to wait 25 years to try to parole. So, as of now, Bill Meece is still sitting on death row with all of his appeals exhausted. Like I said, it could have been avoided if he just would have admitted to it the first time until he fucking backtracked. And that's the sad story of the murders of Dr. Joe Wellnitz, Beth Wellnitz, and Dennis Wellnitz at the hands of his sister and daughter, Megan Wellnitz-Appleton, and her Mr., I guess he's called, her sad piece, Bill Meece.
That's wild.
Right. Wild and sad, and they sounded like good humans. And the little Christian mom was trying to understand her daughter. She just wanted her to date better dudes.
Right.
And she's just being an asshole teen or like young person that goes to college, and they're like, ooh, because that's a weird time when you go. Like, you're trying to figure out the world, figure out who you are. You're exploring religions and things. So, like,
right.
That's normal. But then there was other people in the more heavier articles I read about the occult and the other satanic panic part, and they were saying, like, well, they would talk about human sacrifices, and there was a lot of rumors flying around about that, but I didn't find anything that didn't have to do with shit.
Right.
She wanted money.
Of course.
She wanted fucking money.
She wanted the fucking money.
And she even didn't even take credit for wanting the money after she admitted that she did it. She was like, oh, no, my friends were like, you're going to be rich when your parents die in Africa. And she's like, oh, I can be rich. Fucking dumb.
So dumb. And it's like, how are you even going to backtrack or talk your way out of that? Like, that is just dumb.
Fall on your sword. Bill should have done it the first fucking place.
If you did it, you did it.
That's right.
You're hoping for the money. Technically, you got some.
Yeah. And then the whole thing about where she took her own life.
How'd she kill herself?
They said they investigated it and concluded it was suicide, but I didn't read how. So
okay.
But the fact of it is, she wasn't in jail that long for killing her whole family. Like, she lived outside of a regular life, had a regular life for like 10 years, 9 or 10 years, and then she goes to jail, and it was 2014 when they found her in the cell. So like 8 years, like nothing. I don't know. It's just it's crazy. But anyway, that's that.
That is that.
That is that.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome
for that story.
You're welcome. I do what I can.
Once more, guys, don't forget, like, rate, review, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon.
All the things.
Check us out on TikToks.
Yes.
Follow our personal Instagrams. Do all the shit.
All the shit.
I'm at Brooklyn Lusty, by the way.
I'm at Heather Terry. Heather Lately.
I was like, that's not your handle.
I'm used to saying it. I'm Heather Terry, so it's just
it's not
muscle memory.
Yeah, hers is at Heather Lately.
Heather Lately.
Anyway.
Yes.
Love you guys so much.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Don't forget. Don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love you.
We love you, man.
Bye.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, a couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?